Yemen's Houthis reported to have got a hypersonic missile system, possibly raising stakes in Red Sea crisis. Yemen's Houthi rebels claim to have got a new hypersonic missile in their arsenal, Russia's state media reported Thursday, potentially raising the stakes in their strikes on shipping in the Red Sea and surrounding waterways against the backdrop of Israel's war with Hamas in the Gaza Strip. However, the Houthis have for weeks hinted about surprises they plan for the battles at sea to counter the United States and its allies, which have so far been able to down any missile or bomb-carrying drone that comes near their warships in Mideast waters. On Thursday, Abdul Malik al-Houthi, the Houthis' secretive supreme leader, said the Houthis will start hitting ships heading toward the Cape of Good Hope in Africa's southern tip. Until now, the militia have largely struck ships heading into the Red Sea toward the Suez Canal, and such an escalation would target the longer, alternative route used by some vessels. It remains unclear how they would carry any possible assault out. Meanwhile, Iran and the US are reportedly held in direct talks in Oman, the first in months amid their long simmering tensions over Tehran's rapidly advancing nuclear program and strikes by its proxies. Iran, the Houthis' main benefactor, claims to have a hypersonic missile system and has widely armed the Houthis with the missiles they now use. Adding a hypersonic missile to their arsenal could pose a more formidable challenge to the air defense systems employed by America and its allies, including Israel. British oil tanker bound for India. The group's missile forces have successfully tested a missile that is capable of reaching speeds of up to Mach 8 and runs on solid fuel, according to the RIA report. The Houthis intend to begin manufacturing it for use during strikes in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, as well as against the targets in Israel. Hypersonic weapons, which fly at speeds higher than Mach 5, could pose crucial challenges to missile defense systems of the enemies, simply because of their speed and trajectory maneuverability. Ballistic missiles fly on a trajectory in which anti-missile systems like the USA-made Patriot can anticipate their path and intercept them. The more irregular the missile's flight path, such as a hypersonic missile with the ability to change directions, the more difficult it becomes to intercept. China is believed to be pursuing the weapons, as is America. Russia claims it has already used them. In Yemen, Abdul Malik al-Houthi boasted that his fighters continue to expand the effectiveness and scope of our operations to areas and locations the enemy never expects. He said they would prevent ships connected to the Israeli enemy even crossing the Indian Ocean or heading toward the Cape of Good Hope. The Houthis don't have a navy, nor weapons reaching into the far distances of the Indian Ocean, making their Cape of Good Hope threat difficult. However, Iran is suspected of targeting Israeli-linked vessels previously in the Indian Ocean. The Houthis have claimed attacks assessed to have been carried out allegedly by Iran in the past, such as the 2019 attack on Saudi Arabia that temporarily halved its oil production after seizing Yemen's capital, Sana'a. In 2014, the Houthis ransacked government arsenals which held Soviet-era Scud missiles and other arms. As the Saudi-led coalition entered Yemen's conflict on behalf of its exiled government in 2015, the Houthis arsenal was increasingly targeted soon, and despite Yemen having no indigenous missile manufacturing infrastructure, newer missiles made their way into their unsafe hands. Iran long has denied arming the Houthis, likely because of a years-long United Nations arms embargo on the rebels. However, the USA and NATO have seized multiple arms shipments bound for the militia in Mideast waters. Weapons experts as well have tied Houthi arms seized on the battlefield back to Iran. Iran also now claims to have a hypersonic weapon system. In June, Iran unveiled its Fatah, or Conqueror, missile, which it described as being a hypersonic. Iran's mission to the Uni did not respond to a request for comment Thursday. Asked About the hypersonic claim, Pentagon spokesperson Sabrina Singh said, "We have no indication that they even have that capability." Iran's state-run IRNA news agency indirectly acknowledged the talks but insisted they were merely limited to negotiations on lifting anti-Iran sanctions by the West. The U.S. State Department did not deny the January talks took place in a statement to the Associated Press, saying, "We have many channels for passing messages to Iran. Since October 7th, all of the communications have been focused on raising the full range of threats emanating from Iran and the need for Iran to cease its across-the-board escalation to the next level," it added. The assaults on shipping have raised the profile of the Houthis, whose Zaidi people ruled a 1000-year kingdom in Yemen up until 1962. Adding a new weapon increases that cachet and puts more pressure on Israel after a ceasefire deal failed to take hold in Gaza. Earlier in March, a Houthi missile attacked a commercial ship in the Gulf of Aden, killing 3 of its crew members and forcing survivors to abandon the vessel. It marked the first fatal strike by the Houthis on shipping. Other recent Houthi operations include an attack on a cargo ship carrying fertilizer, the Rubimar, which later sank after drifting for several days in the waters. A new suspected Houthi attack targeted a ship in the Gulf of Aden on Thursday, but missed the vessel and caused no damage, the British Army's United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations Centre said. A later strike similarly missed a vessel in the Red Sea off Yemen's port city of Hodeidah, the center reported. Early Friday, the UKMTO reported another suspected strike early Friday off Hodeidah, though details remain scarce. Fabian Hinz, a missile expert and research fellow at the International Institute for Strategic Studies, told he wouldn't be surprised if Iran transferred a new hypersonic weapon to the Houthis. However, the point is how maneuverable such a weapon would be at hypersonic speeds and whether it could strike moving targets, like ships in the Red Sea. I wouldn't exclude the possibility that the Houthis have some system that has some maneuvering capability to some extent, Hinz said. It is also possible for the Iranians to transfer new stuff for the Houthis to test it. Certainly they can do that.